Hi, this is David Wright, and you're listening to WICR.
Okie doke.
Hello,
What's up?
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to our show. I don't know what our show's called
There's
yet.
no name yet, but
We'll figure that out.
We'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
we will.
Well, for starters, I guess I'll say
Let's introduce ourselves.
I'm Noah Vega.
I'm Vin Becker,
I'm Sean Hutchinson.
and we'll probably talk about movies. I don't know. We have our own blogs on our websites and stuff. That's what we were planning on doing. I think that's how we're gonna organize our show for the most part.
Yeah, I think talking about the blogs could be a good way of getting some talking points out.
Yeah, exactly. And
We'll take it from there.
yeah. So you want to start on your thing?
Yeah, in my first blog, I talked about a series called Westworld that I have been meaning to watch for quite some time, and I was very surprised because I've been putting it off. I knew it was gonna be good, but I've been putting it off because I've been very busy with schoolwork. I kind of talk about it in the blog. I'm not really gonna get into that though, but eventually I did find some time and I watched it, and it's pretty good. I watched the first 4 or 5 episodes so far, and it's been pretty interesting.
That's
Either
cool.
you guys watch it yet?
No, but I actually really want to watch that show. It looks really interesting.
It is pretty interesting.
It's kind of like it's what is it like? It's like kind of like in Assassin's Creed when it's kind of like that Animus kind of thing. Is it kinda
Oh,
like
yeah,
that,
They go
or-
back in
Yeah.
different time periods and stuff. Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Hmm.
I don't know how many seasons there are of it, but
I
Did
think
you
they
watch it?
just made the second season.
Really?
I did see the first season. It was pretty good.
no spoilers.
Believe me, I won't. It is cool though. Like some of the stuff they do. Like I know the first season was like the Old West, and then I think for the second season they went to like feudal Japan and were doing all this cool stuff.
That's interesting.
But,
actually,
That sounds pretty cool.
It just got super complex at a point. Like I think I watched the whole first season. It was really good, and then it was kind of like Inception on steroids in a way, where it kept like having like twist after twist, but like it was hard to follow after a while, so I didn't end up watching the second season. But so far, first season pretty good.
Yeah, I really liked it. I feel like the world building was really cool. The way that the characters, were developing from what I saw. Whoops. It was very interesting. I was, I'm really curious to see where it goes. And yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. And hopefully season 2 is just as good. I haven't obviously gotten that far yet.
yeah,
Yeah, me neither.
Looking
yeah.
forward to it.
I didn't know it was in I didn't know the second season was in feudal Japan. I thought it was gonna be like the Wild West thing for most of the time. I
Yeah.
never even saw anything from season 2.
Yeah,
So
I think it-
find that to be pretty interesting.
I think it includes like both, but like I think towards the end of the first season they were like teasing that like they were gonna be like. I know the first season, like the whole park was just like the Old West, and then
Yeah.
in the second one, they this isn't really a spoiler, but like it's they were just like thinking about opening up to like different parks, so like you could go to the Old West or like Japan or all these other
Okay.
places.
Are they like different characters each season too, or is it like the same?
I think they
thing?
introduce new characters like in the second season. I've only seen the trailers. I haven't gotten into it that much. I've like heard about what happens. I obviously won't spoil
Yeah.
anything, but yeah, I think there's like a lot of changes with like who enters and leaves the cast. Like they're pretty liberal with like adding and dropping all of their characters.
That's cool.
Yeah, no. So that's what I talked about. I talked about that TV series and my experiences with the first 4 episodes, and it was pretty good. And I'm interested to keep going, but I just need to find more time. I've been very busy lately, so
Yeah.
That's cool.
it's hard to
That's
find
cool.
time. I guess we'll move on. What did you talk about in your blog?
My first blog was about a kind of more controversial show called 13 Reasons Why. I kind of just my friends were like watching it, and I kind of just decided to watch I didn't watch the first season, but I just went right to the second season just because I didn't really care. But
Makes sense.
Seems like you're very invested.
yeah, I was just I don't know. I just felt like watching it just to see what the drama was about, and it is very controversial, because what they try to do, which is kind of a really hard thing to do without having people to at the very least disagree with what the message you're trying to put out, is that they try to they blend in the topics, not just suicide, which is like an obvious one,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
Oh,
like
yes.
also things such as like
We're getting
Uh,
spoilers here. I assume.
Well,
Well, the suicide thing.
maybe. I
I
mean,
mean, it's very, that's a very integral part
well,
of it.
yeah,
but-
I'll just hint some things. I'm not gonna like go in depth,
yes, of course.
but like bullying, teen pregnancy,
There's a lot
uh,
of very
yeah,
heavy messages. and
school
it's-
shootings,
it's-
even.
Yeah, I
And they
remember.
try to blend it into like this teen drama, and the way they go about doing that is probably at times it's like pretty hilarious.
At
It's
at
like-
times
it's like-
it's handled well, but at other
Yeah.
times it's
It's
very
like so over the top.
it's
at
very
points,
over the
yeah.
top.
Exactly. It's like
I know there was a book.
Why
that
are
it
they
was
doing
based
this?
off of, and I don't know how the book is because I actually did watch the first and the second season. It's an interesting series. I don't know if I'd call it like a guilty pleasure in a way. Like I enjoy.
yeah, I actually enjoyed the show, but not for reasons that like that was intended for the show to be.
Yeah. There's
It's
that.
just like-
no, I get that. It's a very, I guess, topical or a controversial show. Like everyone has their own like kind of views on it. I mean, it was interesting
Yeah.
for what it was.
I felt kind of 50-50 about it, in all honesty, because it was like sometimes they put the message across pretty good, and
Oh,
then like
yeah.
at other times they just
Kind of dropped the ball.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It was just went
I-
completely sideways.
Yeah, I
just
remem-
was not.
I like looked into it because like everyone I knew was talking about it, and like you said, they get into some really controversial stuff. But yeah, like I feel like with a lot of the things that they kind of handle in that show, it's just like not very well integrated into like their own
Yeah,
story
exactly.
and just putting it in because it's so controversial. But I guess I'm not really the person to judge the show too heavily because I've
Yeah.
only seen clips and like heard from what other people have said. But it seems like they really get into
Mhm.
some controversial stuff.
Yeah, and then like there's like another which I find really hilarious. I there's like another series that it's kind of like they comment on their like the episodes like as if like it needs further explanation, like this show's more smart, like
Oh, yeah.
this show's really
Yeah.
smart and it needs further explanation. It's like it's so like I don't know. They just like the people making it just think they're so like complex and so like I don't know.
So,
Like,
like, there's,
I
like, a-
understand, but like in the end of the day, it's just a teen drama,
Yeah.
and that's all it should be.
So they have another series dedicated to just
Yeah.
talking. Or
Yeah,
the
it's like-
actors show up and stuff and talk.
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
okay.
it's kind of like Talking Dead.
yeah,
almost.
that's what I was gonna say.
yeah.
that-
It's like they
I don't-
talk about the episode, and they're like, "Oh well, we decided to put this in because like blah blah blah, and like it's so meaningful." I never watched it, but like I could assume like they're trying to like make themselves be like this like smart show when it's really just like ridiculousness.
drama kind of. Yeah. No.
yeah.
I know there was one for Stranger Things where they.
I was
had,
gonna
like, a
say
little
that, yeah, I
background thing, or like they have.
Well,
one for
yeah,
the
I mean,
episodes.
I feel like Stranger Things has like a better excuse to do at like shows
'Cause
like
there is
that.
kind of like
Yeah, 'cause
depth and kind of complex.
I've only
stuff to
watched
it.
a few episodes of Stranger Things, and it's kind of just like, I could understand like there could be a scene that like doesn't really like that could be confusing.
And that
Yeah.
like they want to go
Yeah.
into like more depth. And, like,
Exactly, yeah, but like,
maybe show the stuff that people didn't see.
Mhm.
But I can see how
yeah, it's
maybe
just-
like having a behind the scenes like deep dive into the
Mm-hmm.
show seems like a bit much, I guess, for like a drama. But I guess to everyone, to each their own for
Yeah.
whatever.
No,
everyone likes.
there's definitely like, people that are asking for or want it. 'Cause
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are watching it. It's getting good
Oh
reviews.
yeah, I
It's
look, just because it's like weird in the way they like go about it, that doesn't mean I don't want a third season. I definitely
Yeah,
want a
well,
third season
I-
just to see like
like I said,
how much
yeah.
they fail or even like how much they improve.
Kind of like hate watching in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
For me,
like
It's definitely a guilty pleasure for me. Like I think
sure.
I think of the stuff that's like just kind of like ridiculous or just like weird and just doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
And I enjoy that for like kind of what it is. And then there's the
Mhm.
parts that I actually do genuinely like for just it genuinely either being good or just like me enjoying it for like it. But it definitely does have its issues, and I think sometimes it's definitely trying to be controversial for controversy's sake,
Mhm.
And it's just, I mean, I can see like why like some people would like want a background like or like one of those shows like to go along with it to talk
Yep.
about the episodes, because like some people do need that like extra like push to figure out what happened. I mean, it's not a complex show. It's not.
yeah.
I mean, like the
It's-
complexities come in with like the mystery, I guess, of like who took the photos or something, or who did
Yeah, I
this. And it's
guess,
like,
yeah.
and I guess that's where some people could get lost, and like where you could see things like on a second watching. But like, I don't know if I need like
Yeah, I
the
just
extra
I
work,
don't
but
know.
to string it all back together, it's an all right show. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. But I am very excited if season 3 does happen. It'll happen.
Yeah.
And I'll be there watching it day one.
I think there's one
You
more
know.
comment. Like I feel like just going back to the whole controversy kind of thing. Like I feel like one big reason why it's so controversial, because at some points it's kind of like they're trying to obviously push like things like suicide and bullying is wrong, but like the way they go about it, it's like the complete opposite.
It
Like,
comes
it'll-
off as like cheesy
yeah,
in a
it's
way.
kinda- yeah, like, it'll, like
ham-fisted.
Yeah, yeah.
like it could even like like it even shows you ways you could like bully someone to an extreme, like, and it's just
Yeah.
kind of like, well, now you're giving people ideas.
There's definitely
It's
some,
like-
there was definitely some scenes that
weird.
were very like gratuitous, like that just like
Mhm.
were like very
There was like I remember
They went too
in-
far
in
with a few
seas-
scenes.
in
and it's just
season
like,
one.
why
In season
even-
one, it was kind of like it's like I literally couldn't imagine. Like there was one scene, I'm sure everyone kind of know, like the towards the end of it, that was like very.
yeah.
and it's
I
just
think I
it's
know what
like
you're talking about.
it's like, is that realistic? Like, does that happen? I mean, I'm sure it probably happens somewhere, but I just feel like the way that they depicted it and like
Yeah, it's
some of
just-
the, like they really are drumming up that controversy because they know it's gonna get the views, it's gonna
Mhm.
get the more like people
exactly.
coming in for it, and that's kind of what you got to expect.
Mhm.
And for what it's worth, it's definitely an interesting series. It's fun to watch.
yeah.
It's fun to talk about.
But
So I guess they're doing something right.
but 7 times out of 10, they don't really like nail it in the lesson.
They
that they're
don't. No,
trying to
yeah, a lot
go
of
about, which
the
I find to be
characters
really
kinda-
funny.
No, yeah, of course. Like just like some of the characters, like they act weird or they do
Mm-hmm.
like a weird thing, and I guess you can't really know how someone would react in those situations. But sometimes it just kind of seems like they're
Yeah.
kind of doing it kind of weird,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just me though.
Yeah, I feel bad for almost everyone that's a part of this show.
Just
'Cause,
want
like,
to restart
I
their
can
career.
tell like they're really trying hard to like make this like a show that's taken seriously, but like I
Yeah.
can't take it seriously. It's like it's
It's like sometimes they get so close to that point where it's like, okay, I can finally maybe like see this in a serious light, or like I can finally,
yeah,
I
exactly.
can finally like get what they're trying to do here. But then it's like they just like do something kind of really over the top or something really weird, or it'll kind of just like go limp and like nothing will happen. And
Yeah.
it's just like they leave you like wondering, like, okay, wait, that's not what I thought was gonna happen. That's
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
That's not what I was
exactly, yeah.
expecting. It's like, so I don't know. I think they have a lot of stuff to do. They need to, really pick it up. Like okay, I'll be honest. I did like, there was some scenes in season 2 that I really liked. And there's some scenes
Yeah.
in season 1 that I really liked.
Mhm.
Like actually just really genuinely liked. But for every like one scene that you really like, there's like 5 others that are like trash. and stuff.
Atrocious.
Yeah,
Atrocious.
yeah. I've seen like videos online of just like the corniest scenes and like
Oh,
super
yeah.
cheesy and like really unrealistic. And then like, I mean, I guess it just comes with a show like that that's like based off
Well,
of like
yeah,
high
it's a
school
drama.
life.
It's
Yeah,
a drama.
yeah.
So
There's-
you gotta
there's, like-
expect that stuff.
There's like one little thing in that show that kind of like bugged me, and it's kind of like why even like waste the money on like production for it.
What?
Like they're like the popular kids in the school. They just so happen the popular kids in the school are play baseball.
Yep.
And they're like the top baseball players. And then it's like later in the season, they also happen to be every single popular kid also happens to be really good at football too. And it's just like I'm like, wait, like why are you spending money on like football gear when you could just like make literally the same exact scene on like a baseball field?
the whole
It's so like it aggravated me. Like I was like, why are they doing this?
everyone that's on the
It was
football
so
team is on the
weird.
baseball team.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why?
Why
Just
do
why?
I don't know.
Like, what the heck?
That is something to think about, I guess. It's kind of, I guess people are busy. They're like, I don't know. I guess they all like,
I don't
like
know. I
doing
was
lots of
just-
sports.
Scratching my head. I was like, what the hell?
Shaking my head. I hear you.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's an interesting series.
Mhm.
who knows? Season 3 maybe it'll be good. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
What movie or
Uh,
something do you talk about?
yeah, I guess I'll go over what I kind of discussed. I went over like a lot of things, like reviews of like movies and TV shows, and just like general news. But one of the things that I talked about is have you guys heard of that new show with John Krasinski on Amazon, Jack Ryan, the guy that played Jim from The Office?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't
I've never
watched
heard of
it.
that,
How many
actually.
episodes are out so far? Is it
Uh,
a whole season or like with Netflix or are they
It's
releasing?
on like it's similar to like Netflix. Like they released it all at once. It was like 8
Okay.
episodes. It was so good too. Like I literally I think it came out like a week or two ago, but like he's been doing a lot of good stuff after leaving The Office. He directed like A Quiet Place, which was super good. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I haven't seen that
No,
either.
I
You
haven't.
should definitely check it out. It was so good. And then he like this was like the next big thing that he did after that show, and it's like it's kind of weird seeing the guy that played Jim from The Office transition from like this kind of goofy dude into like these like
Serious roles.
yeah,
Yeah.
serious
I-
action action
yeah.
movies, all that stuff.
I kind of like, yeah, I feel like the same way when I watch people like John C. Riley or like Alec Baldwin when they're like I'm like,
doing
oh,
like
that's,
serious roles.
yeah, like that's the dude from 30 Rock. Like, what is he doing? In
the
a,
dude from Step Brothers.
yeah, exactly, yeah. but go on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah, just like I was saying, like I think like the transition from just being on the off, like he seems like he's really doing a lot. Like that show, it was just like so kind of compelling in a way. It took place like he's like a CIA agent, and he like travels the world hunting down this like terrorist organization, and like it was actually really well done. It was kind of like a drama action TV show, but yeah, there were like 8 episodes. They're all like 50 minutes long, but I don't know. It was just like really kind of interested me, and was the production value was really good, and it just surprised me like how well he's doing after like leaving The Office compared to everyone else.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I guess it's one of those things where like when actors get typecasted as like the funny guy or
Yeah,
the
yeah.
serious guy,
Yeah.
it's you don't really get to see them try out other roles or other other types of, things. So it's like seeing him as like John, was it Krasinski? I
Yeah,
think?
John Krasinski. Yeah.
I like The Office a lot. So that's how I see him
Yeah.
as like this like funny goofy guy. But it's hard for me to see him as like a serious guy. So it's like, but I don't know. Maybe this will like, maybe if I do end up watching the show, maybe that'll like change it for me. I'll see
feel
it
like-
that kind of light.
I feel like with a lot of like, at least a lot of Oscar-winning actors that I've been seeing, I feel like you kind of have to land in those little like goofy movies first to
Yeah.
really,
Get your career
yeah,
going.
exactly.
really cement
like
your
Matthew
place,
McConaughey, like
Had an interesting career.
yeah, he did. Like he had like a lot of. He was in like a lot of like romantic comedies
Yeah, yeah.
before he was even like I forgot what movie. I think Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, that's what
He
he won
won
the
an
Oscar
Oscar
for.
for?
Yeah.
Like I thought about it. I'm like I was watching like I don't even know what I was watching, but I was watching some like romantic comedy with my family. Like this is the same guy who won an Oscar like a
Yeah.
few years ago for this movie, and it's like it's really crazy. And it's
Yeah.
the same with a bunch of other actors.
No, yeah, it's interesting to see like
Mm-hmm.
like some of that stuff like happen, like when you see like an actor you really like in one show or like one movie, and you see them act like one way, and then you see them acting a whole nother way. Like it really shows off how
Yeah.
good of an actor they are.
Yeah.
Sometimes like you're seeing an actor do the same bit, like I don't know who's a comedy actor that like literally does nothing but comedy. It's like Jonah Hill, maybe again.
He's actually moving on.
Yeah,
he's
actually.
kinda-
he's kinda
he just
serious
directed his
actor,
own
too.
movie
He's
and is
doing
doing all this
some
stuff.
serious stuff now?
Who's? I guess like Will Ferrell probably. Like
Yeah, Will
only
Ferrell
does
is
comedies
kinda
all
the
the
guy.
time.
thought about.
But he's done some really good serious. I guess. There was one that I remember.
Adam Sandler probably.
Adam
his
Sandler.
movies are
Yeah,
just.
I used
Yeah,
to love
he-
the
he
ones in the '90s, but
He's
like
made
yeah,
yeah,
some
he just
good
phones it in now.
Yeah,
he doesn't even care
he
anymore.
does his movies specifically to go on vacation. Like
Yeah.
I think he did one movie in Africa, and the only reason why he said yes is so he could like take him, his family, and his friends and just like chill at some new place. That's the only reason why he signs on to stuff.
It's Adam Sandler. I'm trying to think. He's made some good movies though in the past. Like Click
Yeah.
was good. That was like a more
Click,
recent
yeah,
one. That was
Click.
good.
He's
Click was
done, like,
good. Happy
A
Gilmore,
couple serious
obviously.
movies too that have been good. Like I think he did what was it? A movie called like Funny People, which was like a drama, and then he did like a movie called like Punch Drunk Love, which
That was really good.
that was
I really
super
liked that
good,
movie.
yeah.
I really like that.
That's
movie.
so good. And I think you were saying earlier, like it is interesting to see like when actors kind of take that turn and go from like what they're used to into something completely different. But
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
with The Office, I know like Steve Carell's gone on to like
Steve
get
Carell's
Oscar
done
nominations
so
and
much
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Some of them just like I think Dwight was the guy who played Dwight. I think it's like Rainn Wilson was doing an interview
Rainn
after
Wilson.
The Office, and he was like, I've like come to terms that like this kind of might be like the peak of my career, and like doesn't seem like he's really transitioned as well as like everyone else. Like Steve Carell is like an Oscar nominated actor. John Krasinski's like in all these new shows and movies and directing stuff. And I think the last thing he was in was like The Meg, which is like that giant shark movie.
Dwight was in, or sorry, Rainn Wilson. Was
Yeah,
in
yeah,
it?
yeah. I think that was the like
Dang.
some of them just like it's kind of I guess
It's hard
harder
move
to
on.
like.
Well, when you're on
Yeah.
a show for how long? Was it, like 8 years, 10 years? Was
Yeah, I
it?
think like almost 10 years or something.
Almost 10 years.
Yeah,
when you're
it's
on a
kind
show
of
for that
hard to
long,
like.
that definitely probably would seem to make it a lot difficult. And it's like Steve Carell and like the main characters. Of course,
Mhm.
they're gonna
Do well, yeah.
they're gonna do well. They're gonna move on. So I guess it's like what's gonna happen to like Stanley or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got like kind of like I see it in like The Walking Dead too, like a show I used to watch a lot.
I used to watch that too,
yeah.
I
and
think
it's
everyone
like-
used to watch. I read the comics.
Yeah,
I read a little bit, yeah.
it's like after all the characters are like killed off for the most part, like except for the guy, I forgot what his name was, the guy who played Shane. Like he's doing pretty good for
Oh
himself.
yeah, he's like the Punisher now.
yeah, he's doing pretty good
That's
for
good.
himself. Like
oh yeah.
other than that, like
he
all
got off
the
easy.
yeah, he did. He
he
did.
did pretty well. Yeah, that was like
yeah,
pretty good.
he was in Wolf of Wall Street
He's doing
too.
pretty-
Like
he's doing
I
pretty
think he
good
was
now.
in what else was he in? He was in like Baby Driver too. That was
Yeah.
like a short role, but
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Baby Driver. I heard that was a good movie. I never
Oh,
got around to it.
it was so good. If you like Edgar Wright movies, they're like Shaun of the Dead and stuff like that.
though.
then,
I love Shaun of the Dead. So yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out.
yeah.
Yeah, but like most of the time, it's kind of like Walking Dead, which is kind of just like this subpar show, is kind of like the peak of their career, and then like I never see them again.
It's kind
Yeah.
of like T-Dog.
like-
Justice.
Tito, oh yeah,
T-Dog, no.
yeah, T Dog, yeah. Like who, like where is he? Like what is he doing right now?
I want to.
Probably
I wanna
nothing,
see
you
him.
know. And
He's a good
like
man. He deserves.
that's
better.
what like this season, like I haven't watched Walking Dead since like I don't think
A
season
lot
4
of
or
people
5.
have started to drop off.
Yeah,
like,
but like I hear like Andrew Lincoln, this is like his last season
yeah, he's
or
doing.
something.
He's not even doing another full. He's doing 5 episodes, and then
Oh,
he's
really?
gone. He
Damn,
already
okay.
announced it. He's leaving. Carl left the show. All
Mhm.
the main actors are leaving, and I'm just like, it makes people wonder how much longer are they gonna drag it on without.
Yeah, exactly.
They made a spin-off series, and that
Was it
didn't do
Fear the
super
Walking
well.
Yeah,
Dead?
Yeah, and then
exactly,
they put like I don't know. Do you remember Morgan from the first couple
Yeah.
seasons?
I do.
He's
yeah.
in that show now.
Yeah,
And like it seems like they're just like cast members just want to leave, and
Yeah.
it just keeps dragging on to a point where like
It's a shame.
it's just
yeah,
losing
that's-
viewers all the
that's
time.
honestly just-
I'm gonna take this into a whole like another direction of
All right.
comics, right? So, The Walking Dead, obviously, the comics and the show are very different.
Yeah.
The author of the comics, Robert Kirkman, I'm
Mhm,
sure you
mhm.
probably know.
Yeah, I've
Yep.
you
heard
might
of
know.
him, yeah.
He's worked on a lot of comics, and for him, I don't want to say he's kind of like an out there author. Like he makes a lot of like weird stories, but he's usually pretty like normal with it.
Like
But
grounded in a way.
grounded,
like yeah.
And that's why a lot of his stories are kind of grounded in reality. Like some of my favorite comics are by him, like Invincible, Walking Dead.
Mhm.
Some of these stuff like no one really knows about. Like, well, Walking Dead, obviously people know about that, but
But not like the smaller stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
my favorite series is or my favorite comic series is a series called Invincible by him, and it's about a superhero who's learning how to use his powers, and it's kind of him growing up with it, and it's really interesting to see because in his own words, he tried to take every single superhero trope and just kind of flip it on its head.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about it is that includes the fact that all superhero comics kind of go on forever.
Mm-hmm.
And with him, he wanted a clear ending to it to even kind of like seal it off. So there was a clear, concise story. So it was like 150 issues or something like that. And he closed it off, and it was like a really good ending. But I don't think he had that same idea with The Walking Dead. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I think for him, it's like that's his superhero comic that he's going to keep going forever with, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Especially like
You know?
translating that into like television. Like sometimes it just doesn't work if you don't
Exactly.
have your kind of story outline from beginning to end, because then
Yeah, no, yeah.
it just kind of gets like some shows just go on because of how much money they're making, and then they continue
Lost.
to go. I was gonna say, yeah, Lost. Like that show probably would have been a lot better if it was a couple of seasons, not like 8 because they didn't have an ending. I
Yeah.
watched it and I didn't even finish the last season because like I read how it ended and watched videos that explained it, but like they just dragged it on to a point where they kept having to throw in new twists and
Yeah,
new
It's-
characters and all this stuff. But
new
they just
characters like no one's even invested.
yeah,
in,
and they like
pretty
don't
much.
know where to
Yeah.
go with it. Like The Walking Dead, I feel like it's the same thing. Like I've read the comics too. I love the show.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first couple of seasons are great, but I feel like it could have been better if they just outlined exactly where to go with it and like
Yeah.
even if it wasn't the most like appreciated ending, going just like a couple seasons like ending it like a season or two ago and just having a clear ending or new storylines that were more interesting compared to doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah, I feel like each season has like its own like it's like the same exact.
It's
thing.
just like rinse and
It's
repeat. Yeah.
yeah. It's like oh you go to this new place and then it's like
It seems
they think,
okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
they
And
think
then
everything's
something
gonna be
happens,
okay, and
yeah.
then this bad guy comes in and attacks the place, and they have to find a new place. And
Yeah.
it's like it's either that or like a bunch of zombies attack the place.
Yeah.
Someone dies, and it's like
It's because it's like you can tell.
and
it's
then
based off
the
comics.
group's separated, and then they come back together, and it's like
Someone
blah, blah,
goes
blah, blah,
missing.
blah.
They have to go find. Yeah.
yeah,
like, they
it's,
hit the
it's-
same story beats, and people have been
Yeah.
complaining about that. And I think with the newest season, I kept up with it, even though I do not like it, and I cannot explain why. I still watch it, but like they like tried to change it like a little bit, but like it just they're like
a show like that. It's kind of hard to
It's
like
kind of set in
yeah.
its way.
they dragged it out to like 30, almost 30 episodes, and like
30.
yeah, literally for like I think it was like 24 or
Jeez.
something, maybe 21, but like I might be wrong about that, but it was something super long where they just like
I remember like the first season only being like 6 episodes.
yeah, and it was good because
Yeah,
it
and
was
it was
like its
good.
own
Yeah.
contained story, and
Exactly.
like now they just drag everything out, and it's just not the
Yeah.
same. Sometimes shorter is better.
Yeah, and it's like they're like what can you do in like 20 episodes? Like just they're just
Nothing,
it's just
literally
them,
nothing.
It's just them walking around in the middle of nowhere, just
Yeah.
like oh well, we got to look for food.
That's pretty much yeah. It's just
It's
so
like-
annoying.
It's like that premise could have been interesting like years ago when it was fresh, but there's just so many stories about like the zombie type of thing. I think that's also there's a lot of like zombie fatigue in
Yeah.
like everyone's
Yeah,
we're kind of
zombies-
done with it. We're
Yeah,
kinda
zombies
just,
are
you
kind of
know,
just getting like zombie stories. At least are kind of getting
kind of old.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hypocritical for me because I play a lot of COD Zombies. You know, but like other than that, it's kind of like if anyone starts a conversation with me about zombies, it's kind of just like that was a thing. Like what, like
A couple years
a couple
ago.
years ago. It's kind of like, I mean, I don't know what the new like horror thing would be, but like
I don't know. if it
zombies
really
is just like
there's not really like
No
a new
thanks.
horror thing right now.
Yeah, it's just the
maybe
same
this October
stuff.
something will happen. I don't know.
I guess you got maybe clowns are coming back.
Clowns are coming back. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it was pretty good.
It
I
was
really
super
did
good,
Like
yeah.
that movie a lot.
sequel's coming out pretty soon. That should be super good. I
Yeah,
think it takes
yeah.
place in the future, like with them 13 years later.
Oh
which is
yeah,
kinda
well, that's what happened in the
Yeah.
book.
cool. Yeah.
I didn't get to read the whole book, but I did read a good bit of it. And it's weird because in the book, it's not like childhood and future. It's like childhood, future, and they like
Oh, it goes
skip back and
yeah.
forth. It's really
Okay.
it's weird and it's kind of hard to get a hold of at first, but like once you kind of get into it, it starts making a lot of sense, and it's kind of cool because you get to see the kids as kids, then you get to see them grow up. And well, not you don't see them grow up, you get to see them as grown-ups and how they're dealing with the repercussions of the incident, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And the book definitely goes into more detail. Like there's like a lot more events that happen, a lot more like, things you learn about the kids. You spend more time with the characters. And it really helps to flesh out the story. And
Mhm.
the movie's doing a really good job of portraying the story so far. I mean, they can only portray so much. It's like 1,000-page book,
Yeah.
Wait, is it really 1,000 pages?
It's almost like 2,000 pages, I think. I don't know.
Yeesh.
I gotta look it up. It's huge. It's like
Yeah.
this thick.
Damn.
Stephen King has some pretty long but interesting books.
Oh yeah.
I heard some parts of the book are kind of pretty vulgar too.
There's
Of it.
Yeah,
something
there's some real awful
disturbing
stuff.
that
Yeah,
happens
yeah,
with
my-
all the kids. I
Yeah,
won't go
my-
into
yeah,
it, obviously.
Yeah.
You
I
can
know
look
exactly
into-
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
I
about.
don't know, like he just like that's
He's
not
weird.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
Stephen
he's a
King's
bit of a
weird.
weirdo sometimes. There's some
Yeah, I guess
strange
that's-
stuff.
He's a good author, but
I mean, I guess that's
jeez
kind of how like
Louise.
I guess that's kind of how you just become like a good author and like
Just
stand
write
out. You
weird
just
stuff.
come up with all these like outlandish.
Kind of push the
Things.
envelope kind
Yeah,
of thing. Get people
exactly, yeah.
interested.
Well, you could say that about Stephen King. He's never not pushing the envelope.
No, no. I think he just came out. They came out with like a new show on like I think like Hulu or something that's based off of all of his shows in like one universe. So it's
That's
like
cool.
What's
it's
it
like
called?
it's called like Castle Rock. It like takes place like it mentions like Shawshank, I think, and it has a lot of the actors that played roles in Stephen King movies. Like the woman that played Carrie is in it. The guy that plays It the Clown is in it, but not as that character. He's like someone else. And
That's
some of the kids from the movie It are in it, and like it just like
Nice.
takes everything from his books and movies and puts them all into one show. So it's like super weird. Like
Yeah.
there's all these weird kind of.
Well, I don't know if you heard,
lines.
but there's like a whole like theory kind of thing that I was reading about online about how all the books and all the stories are in one universe.
I
Like,
could see that.
people
yeah.
are all like kind of theorizing about that
Mhm.
because there was like a whole thing in It about how like the world was created by like or like floating on some like giant like tortoise. In
Yeah,
space
I've read
and
about that
stuff,
too,
and
yeah,
how
I've
It
looked
is like
into
some
theories.
cosmic like entity or something. And it's just like it's kind of weird. And there's like references to It in like a bunch of other books of his.
Mhm.
And there's references to what's the one where the guy's stuck in the house?
Guys, oh, Misery.
Misery. There's like references to Misery in the It book,
Yeah.
or I mean not in the It book. There's references from all of his stories, each other's story, and it's kind of like, I wonder, is there something there?
I
And
think,
then-
yeah, like, sorry to interrupt,
No,
but
it's fine.
like even in the movies too, they make reference. Like, it wasn't that good, but they came out with like the Dark Tower movie, which is based off of one of his books.
Yeah,
Didn't do that well, but they make references to like Pennywise. Like they go to like a carnival and it says like Pennywise is like
yeah, I saw
stuff.
that.
Like there's so many references that like I wonder if they'll kind of go into that in the next movie and like his future books and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's his most recent? Like he's still writing, right?
Yeah, he did a book recently. It was called like 11/22/63 or something. That might be wrong. It was like a date. It was about a guy, like a teacher in Maine that could go back in time and was trying to prevent like JFK's like death. That was like one of the more
That's
recent
weird.
things he did. But I remember he talked about it too, and he's like talking about how he hated doing it because it was more based in fact, and he had to like get dates and times right,
Yeah.
and like he usually likes doing more stuff that like he has more like room to like breathe and like
Have his own.
have his
Like,
own
you can't
story.
really
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
someone like Stephen King to work with, or you can't really make someone like Stephen King work with like actual like.
Like give him like
Factual
specific
stuff.
things that
You
like
kind of
he
just
has
gotta
to
let
make,
him run
yeah.
wild. And
But it
do
was
some
interesting. They made that
crazy
into a
stuff.
TV show too, I think, with like
Yeah.
James Franco or something.
That's cool. I like James Franco. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He's gotten good too with Tommy Wiseau. Yeah, Tommy
The
Wiseau.
disaster artist.
I heard
Yeah.
that was a good movie. I read
I
a little
heard-
bit of the book.
Have you
I
seen
read
the
it.
have you seen
I
the
mean, no,
Room?
I didn't read it. I saw
Everyone
the
saw
movie.
The Room.
Everyone's
It was
seen The Room, yeah.
incredible.
That is
Incredible movie.
I love that. That's one of those movies that like it's so bad it's good that you
Yeah,
can
that's
just
kinda-
watch all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason. That's kind of the reasons why, like, The Room is kind of like the main reason why I go to shows like 13 Reasons Why, like we were talking about
Yeah.
way earlier. Like,
Yeah.
just because that's the movie that was so bad. That
Quintessential.
was
It's
so
like the
good.
quintessential. So bad it's
And
good.
like, I just try to find things like that.
What are other bad movies like
Just saw
Birdemic,
Have you guys seen
Birdemic, yeah.
Troll 2?
Troll 2? Yeah, it's a classic.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
eating her. They're gonna eat me.
Oh my god. I actually
What's
there's this movie theater in my hometown. It's the Coolidge Corner Theater in Boston, and they were streaming it there one night, and the actor that played the dad in that movie
Oh, really?
Skyped in,
Oh,
and
that's
like
cool.
people were like asking him questions and stuff. But like that was the first time I saw it too, so it was kind of an interesting experience.
That's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I like stuff like that.
Yeah,
I like there's like always like the Room showings and like theaters,
Oh,
and people
yeah.
like throw
Mhm.
spoons,
Throw
at
spoons,
the
yeah.
side, or they'll like say the lines. Like I've always wanted to go to like one of those showings just to see how like crazy it gets. I feel like that'd be kind of fun.
I remember I was watching it with me and my friends, like for the first time, like in full length, and we were all just like sitting there, like just really confused and like speechless as to like what to say, because it was just
there's some scenes that are
There's-
just so awkward.
yeah,
and, like,
just so like it's just so mind-boggling how that movie was made. It's like really interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah.
And the
I-
book does go over some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And the movie, I heard the Disaster Artist movie does go over it too. Or,
Yeah,
off the
I
book,
mean,
right?
Yeah, there's a lot of
I don't
like
know.
feel like there's a lot of things I would have changed with it, but like
The
it was still
Disaster
pretty.
Artist?
Yeah, it was still fairly good though. I still liked it a lot, but
You didn't read the book, did you?
no.
Because I haven't finished the
didn't.
book, but I've read a good bit of it.
Like I feel like James Franco kind of just like puts his brother in there, even though like I mean he does pretty decent, but like I feel like he's not really that fit into the role of
Was he
whatever.
Greg?
Yeah, he was Greg,
Yes, yeah. Greg, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Something, and then he was Tommy Wiseau, right?
Yeah, he was Tommy, and I actually looked similarly like him. It was weird. Like he kind of pulled it off. In
He
a
did
way.
pull it off.
Yeah.
It was
He did,
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that got nominated for like best screenplay or something too, which was kind of impressive.
Yeah, he got like a Golden Globe for it.
Oh,
James
yeah,
Franco, yeah.
I think Tommy Wiseau came up on
Yeah,
stage.
Tommy was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the weirdest, most interesting dudes
We
I've
should get
ever
him on
seen.
the show.
Get him on
That's
the
who we're
show.
gonna interview next time.
Yeah,
Tommy
Tommy
Wiseau.
Wiseau on the show.
I think we can get him. It
We
won't
could
be too hard.
probably get him. he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Did you hear they're making a new Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero? They're doing
Yeah,
Best Friends.
Best Friends,
Fiends,
yeah.
Best Fiends or
Yeah.
something. I haven't seen it yet. Did it come out yet? I don't know.
Let me
I don't know
look
what
it
the-
up.
I think I just saw a
definitely look
post
that up.
about that like a day or two. I'm
'Cause
not sure if it
I'm
came out.
excited for that. I've been seeing it everywhere, and then I kind of forgot about it, and then I started seeing it everywhere again. So I really want to I want to see it. you
Yeah,
know?
wondering if he can recreate that magic.
The magic. I wonder if he's gonna try and go for a serious obviously
Oh,
he was going,
I think it came out already.
it came out. Well, we
Yeah.
gotta go see that. Because I'll talk about that in my next blog. Then there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, we should.
No, but
yeah.
it's I wonder if he's learned anything over his course of movie making. 'Cause
I
he's
think-
been in commercials. He's been in other stuff. Did you see that one AT&T commercial, or was it an AT&T? It was something. He's like, "It's go outside. Stop going on your computer." And
Oh,
he
yeah.
throws it on
Oh,
the
yeah,
ground.
yeah.
It's so he's definitely going and keeping himself busy. Time was at least. I don't know about Greg. I think Greg is just kind of
He's just kind of.
riding it out. He
Yeah.
wrote his book and he's and now he's,
He's
back. Actually,
probably-
he's doing modeling. I think I saw some pictures about
Oh,
that.
really? That's cool. I think they're. I feel like what Tommy's trying to do is kind of just recreate the magic that came from The Room, but in order to do that,
I wonder.
you kind of have to
Yeah.
try to make an
A good
unintentionally
Yeah,
bad movie.
well, he wasn't trying to make a bad movie. He was
He-
just trying to make
Yeah,
a movie.
he was
See,
trying to make a really good movie.
I wonder-
he was trying to make the best movie ever, and it ended up being
he
the worst.
really believed in it too. And then I
Yeah.
think years later, he was like, "No, I knew it was gonna be bad," and you can
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
clearly he was going to try and make the best movie
Mhm.
ever. But
Yeah.
I wonder.
when there's that intention, it just makes it so much better.
Yeah,
Did
exactly.
he
Yeah,
write anything for the Best Fiends? I'm gonna just call it Fiends because I don't know.
yeah.
Did he write it? Did he write that? Directed it all? I think.
I
or
think
is
he
just
did.
acting.
He
in it?
might.
Because I don't.
I'll look
were
into
they-
it right now.
I want to know.
I don't know.
wanna
I feel like-
because he wrote, direct everything, right? For
Yeah, I feel
But
like if you're
for-
gonna go about a movie like that though, I feel like you gotta try to make it at least decent.
I
You
feel- that's why I
you gotta
feel
have
like
the
they
story
probably
of a
have another
decent movie and then
director
just
or
throw
something
Tommy
on it.
Wiseau in it.
I think for the new movie, only Greg wrote it, but I think Tommy just acted in it. For the new
Okay, so
movie.
Tommy
Yeah.
just
Okay.
acted. He didn't do any actual writing for it. Okay.
I'd like to see him write and direct again. I'd
I
watch
wanna-
another Tommy
yeah, I'd
Wiseau
watch
movie.
another
Yeah,
Tommy
yeah.
Wiseau movie. I heard that he did some other films in school. I heard about that, and I saw some clips of a version of The Room he made when he was in film school. And it was a scene of him and Greg just sitting in a corner, and then the kid walks up and starts talking. It's a different actor though.
Oh, okay.
And then they were because you remember the scene where the guy's trying to buy drugs from that one drug dealer on the
Oh
plane?
yeah.
That scene comes out of nowhere. Dude.
There,
It's so
yeah,
weird.
there was
Yeah.
a whole scene like that, but it was a whole different set of characters. It was Tommy, Greg, and then two other people. It was just a weird thing, and
That's actually.
it was funny.
that's
It's
pretty funny.
interesting to see, And then I wonder what his thought process is. What his thought process was when he was writing.
Where
The
I
Room.
want he never says things like where he's from or how old he is.
Or
Doesn't
even
he say
I-
he's American?
I think-
he does say he's American, but
In
he
a-
obviously is.
He obviously isn't.
in an interview, I think he always says he's from New Orleans or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And
he
I
does
think
say
in
that.
an interview on the Tonight Show or something like that, he admitted he was from somewhere else, but didn't really say. There's a lot of weird mystery around him, which just makes it more interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really curious about that.
Yeah, I think he even got The Room had a budget of something ridiculous, $4 million.
Yeah, it had a crazy.
And no one knew where the money came from. He paid for it all himself. and no one knows how he got it. He said he like sold coats or something, but like there's just so much weird stuff about him.
He's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on the show, please.
Come on.
If you ever watch this podcast radio show, please come on the show.
Everyone at Iona, just send this to him, and he can hear us talk
Yeah.
about other dumb stuff.
His future movie plans.
Exactly. I'd like for him to be in like a really mainstream movie,
Like a
that-
Marvel movie or something.
a Marvel
Be
movie.
the villain.
That would be ridiculous, actually. Like I feel like he'd do really good, like if he was in like a cameo in like a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of movie.
yeah,
like I feel like he'd actually do
Stanley
really
thing.
good in that.
That's like-
And like that kind of
cameo in every
universe.
movie.
Yeah.
They even had
Or
like
like a
David
Thor
Hasselhoff
movie.
or something in
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy
yeah.
too. Like they could definitely pull something like that
They
off.
could do it. They could do it. Oh, it's the 40-minute mark, I guess. Does
Yeah.
that should we close it out then? I guess.
Yeah. I mean, if you
Or do you
think
guys
so.
want to just keep going for another like 10 minutes? I don't know what the situation is here because obviously we
either.
can't really do another segment.
Yeah.
we kind of just kept it going.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's one long giant segment.
I think we could end it here, and then
Okay.
if we need to do longer, then we'll
All right,
do it
all right.
Yeah.
for next time.
Sounds good.
Well, it's
Well,
been fun talking about movies. Hopefully next week we have something else to talk about. More movies, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
More Tommy Wiseau news.
More time.
Yeah.
So please
Yeah,
come on the
exactly.
show. We're always here. But for now, we'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Later,
All right.
guys.
Hold on a moment.
Hi, this is Jason Mott, closer for the 2011 St. Louis Cardinals, and you're listening to WICR.